It's King's production, baby.
Olúwa bá mi mú fóònù mi.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone. These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
NBA Fantasy 2023, baby.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me
Scotty too
alone.
hotty.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me
I said
alone.
again.
See, I am the best, never ever settle for less.
Luca,
See, I am the best, never ever settle for less.
it's game time.
It's King on the mic, what you looking at? It's King on the mic, what you looking for?
LeBron?
It's King on the mic, what you looking at? It's King on the mic, what you looking
Tatum
for?
Brown.
Calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
Check.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever
What's
leave
good,
me
Shay?
alone. It's King on the mic, what you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking for?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking for?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at? These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
Hey, you a toaster, baby.
It's King's production, baby.
Olúwa bá mi mú fóònù mi.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone. These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
NBA Fantasy 2023.
Yeggooner back again with another one, you feel me? It's been a crazy day, you get me? It's been a crazy day, you feel me? But we live, baby. We live, baby. Oh, we live. Look, I'm gonna discuss the elephant in the room. That's what I'm gonna discuss first, or the penguin in the room. I'm gonna discuss the transfer business first, a little bit. Discuss a little bit. Yeah, bear with me. You feel me? So first of all, this is what needs to be said all the time, right? So it's yeggooner. We're on a road to 1,000k. Please, if you're here for the first time, like and subscribe. You feel me? And then at the end, if you're not feeling it, then just let me know by disliking or by putting it inside the chat. The chat's there. You get me? You see me? Just let me know how you feel. And so I usually just first of all start by just talking a little about my day. The working day is over. It's over. You get me? Working day is over. Long weekend coming up Monday. I can't wait. I'm just gonna chill, play games, and be a nerd. Watch football, rewatch the Inter game because I need to get back. I need to get on that. I missed one of the days to stream, and that was the day I was gonna talk about like my teams from different leagues. I did watch over the Inter game preview. I actually watched Juventus too, yo. Like real talk, like that title race is gonna look real juicy. I do believe Inter played Napoli today. I'm gonna rewatch that later on tonight. But let's get into the Premier League. Let's get into the Premier League. Deadline day. Lots of little things happened. You feel me? Neil Maupay yesterday. Neil Maupay left. He went to Marseille. He did a nice video of him breaking away out of the Everton shackles, because that team is washed. It's finished. I think they're going down, personally, and it will be terrible if they go down. But the way that they're moving right now, I feel like they're going down. Even Pickford, who, if you want to stay inside the Premier League, you need a reliable keeper. Even Pickford made mistakes and he's been kind of shaky. So we'll see how that flows. We got. Let me go a little bit with the Chelsea first. I think Chelsea's they're a little bit of a mess. If you ask me, it was a little bit of a mess. I was hearing lots of men saying that basically that if Chelsea were to get rid of the players that Maresca has identified as, okay, yeah, you're not good enough. Let me move you on, right? Or you're not good enough. Let me let you leave, and then you chill at home. So I believe out of those players, Chilwell might be the one that's still remaining. It might be just Chilwell. So I'll double check, but I'm to the best of my knowledge, I think Chalobah is gone. I'm gonna go on transfer deadline and see if they can just give me a summary of what's gone. But I thought Chalobah went to Crystal Palace, and then Lukaku, he was the first one to go. He went to Napoli, of course. And then we have taken Raheem the Dream. Now, my thoughts on Raheem Sterling, right? I'll get into that later. We'll get into my thoughts on Raheem Sterling a bit later. But Chelsea adding Jadon Sancho, I do think that Raheem Sterling is better than Jadon Sancho. I do, but what we have with that is if you don't work in that system, if you don't work, and Maresca's identified that you don't work, I'm trying my best to be unbiased, then there's no issue with replacing him. My problem is what is Sancho the backup for Madueke? So then, like, if you're a Chelsea fan, you're here, you're tuning in. Let me know how you feel. Do you feel like that Sancho would be the backup for Madueke? So what you'd have is that you'd have a situation where you have both. So what you have is a situation where you have backup, literally a backup for every position inside your. I don't know, in your whole team. Like again, I'm trying my best to be like non-biased, right? When I'm saying this, I'm just talking. I'm literally just talking. I'm not actually what's that word called? I'm not adding any of my own biases into it as an Arsenal fan, right? So when we're talking about Chelsea, right, what we have in the striker position, which I feel like is their weakest position. Let's be real. You have Mark Guiu, or is it Gui? So Mark Gui, and you have Jackson up front. On the left, you have Mudryk, who's the backup, and then I believe you have Neto, who is a starting. With that situation, you've brought Neto. Neto is injury prone. So for me, you've brought in Neto, he's injury prone. What you might have is a situation where Mudryk will have to step up a little bit more. You do have versatility with Nkunku. Nkunku could come in and be kind of the cover for Palmer and be the cover for the left. And maybe if you start Neto, you're like, okay, yeah, we're starting Neto, but we're gonna like gradually get him to get to know because I know like with like sports science nowadays, if you get injured, they're like, yo, how did you get injured? Was it the way you're moving? You need to change your run. You need to blah blah blah. So while he's getting into the motions of being able to play games over and over again, maybe Nkunku and Mudryk could be like, oh, 60-minute, Neto's got his run. Let's switch it up. Get me. In the cam position, you got Palmer starting, Baller. Very like he's your bread and butter. He doesn't play like Martin Odegaard. He plays more, in my opinion, the way he plays is a little bit more like Bruno Fernandes. He has more offense. Bruno Fernandes, KDB. He has more offensive capabilities, has more offensive responsibilities, and so he doesn't track back on defense. You feel me? And so with Chelsea, what you got there is Palmer, Nkunku, and like I said before, Nkunku can do off the right. I mean, not off the right, off the left, and in cam. On the left hand side, or the right hand side, you got Madueke, Noni, and you got Sancho now. The only issues I have, I feel like your defense is just too leaky right now, man. Like, I feel like the 2 goals you conceded against Wolves, if you weren't playing Wolves, if you weren't playing Wolves, the way things were moving, like maybe you lose that game in the first half. Second half, well done. But in the first half, maybe you lose that game. And what I'm seeing and what I'm getting a grasp of with Chelsea, after 10 games, I'll give a full review. I'll give a full breakdown of each of the top 6 teams based on the table, and I'll add Chelsea if they're not there regardless. But I feel like Chelsea's window, yeah, like if you remove, like listen, like if you talk to Chelsea fans, and you listen to them, right, and then you listen without adding your own input, adding your own 2 cents. They don't want that change inside that piggy bank. They already got it filled up with their own change. They don't need your change. You get me? So if you listen to them, they're saying that what's going on is that they have 2 budgets. They have a budget for sorry, my phone's on vibrate. 1 second. They have a budget for the youth squad, the second squad, the project players. The players that will be playing under 23s, under 21s will go and get loaned out. Like if they're better than that, better than under 23s, under 21s, and they feel like they can like get some experience from playing from maybe their second team, Strasbourg. Is that how you pronounce it? Down in France, or other opportunities with different teams around the world, and then they have their first team signings, right? And so with the first team signings, I do believe Mark Guiu, because he's still here, he's a first team signing. Obviously, we've got Sancho that's just come in. He's a first team signing, and then the Trevor Chalobah, no, not Trevor Chalobah, sorry. not Trevor Chalobah, sorry. What's his face? Tosin Adebayo. I don't rate him at all. He's trash. I don't rate that guy at all. I'll never remove the image I got off my head. Not even, like, straight up. Every time my team, my club, plays him, he has a stinker. Right? He has a stinker. And every time he's played for Chelsea that I have seen, their defense have looked shaky or they've conceded. They conceded 2 goals yesterday. He was there and he didn't look good, man. He's just not good. He's not good. He's surplus requirements. He's a championship player or a relegation for the team player. The reason I say that his only good attribute is aerially, and when you're playing in the championship, you're playing in those lower teams, you need that aerial ability when you're parking the bus. He ain't it. Colwell is not it as well. He is only good at passing and breaking lines. He's not good at defending. But that's neither the point. That's neither hero there. Vega they picked up. He's a left back. I do believe he was he like made a mistake last game as well in the Conference League. You get me? I need to get a nice name for the Conference League. You feel me? Because the Europa League was the Nando's Chicken League. You feel me? Champions League is obviously the Champions League, but Nando's Chicken League is the Europa League. I do not know the Conference League song. It's the same song as Europa, so I need to fetch a name for them. But when we get down to it, yeah, in my personal opinion, the window is like, you can't tell me that Chelsea's had a better window than Arsenal. You can't tell me they've had a better window than Man United. I actually, like, people keep dogging it on Spurs. I'm gonna double down. I've already said this before. I believe Spurs have had a better window. I do. They had areas they had to address, and they addressed those areas, and that's what the transfer window's for. I'm not one of those people that get that. Like, obviously, you like, if it's a huge signing, you get that dopamine. You get me? But I'm not one of those people that like live and breathe by the transfer window. I prefer watching the football, and when it's all said and done, how you win is by your coach coaching and the players playing. If you can play, you're a baller, you know how to play your position, and you perform consistently week in, week out, God forbid no injuries, then your team will be successful. If your coach knows how to figure out what's going on in this half, what's going on in this first 15 minutes, then you'll be successful. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, your league position is determined by player consistency, manage, and how good the manager is. It's that simple. Obviously, bringing in good players, it helps with that. But when you are a team that's well constructed and you've figured out the holes you need to fill out in the transfer market and you fill those holes out, only thing left is for you to play. And that's why I'm saying I feel like Spurs, in my personal opinion, has had a better window than Chelsea. Let's get to Man United. Ugarte was announced. Me, personally, that guy he's a dog. He's a dog. My homie Miguel, he's usually inside these streams. He usually let me know that Sporting thing, you get me? And he was really good for Sporting. He's only 23 years old. People are saying that he's not technical. So, who cares? Busquets was not physical. And people keep talking about play style, technical, blah blah blah. Bro, like, if you go on like SofaScore, there's a reason they have different categories for what players do. There's literally a reason for that, because the game is not only played on a technical basis, it's played on many different, it's not basketball. There's many different facets, and there's many different things that each player needs to be able to do to fulfill their role. And for a player like Ugarte, where I don't think he's not terrible technically. If you're gonna rate it out of 10, he's probably a 7, or he's probably a 7. 7 is above average. It's just in terms of the upper echelons. When you're looking at prime Barcelona, will he be able to play on that team as a starter? Maybe not. Would he be able to be someone that comes off the bench and gets a job done, plays in cup matches, or if someone's injured, comes in and steps up for a 5 to 10 game period? Yes. He's not the savior of Man United, Ugarte. You get me? He wasn't. I don't think he's being bought to be the savior. First of all, it's a loan. Then they're gonna buy. And I will caveat this and say one thing. With the Moreno deal, this is like why I don't like talking to Arsenal fans. My brother's Arsenal fan. I can talk to him. He's rational. This is why I don't like talking to Arsenal fans. You will see what's going on with Moreno and that Moreno deal. So how long that took. It took just about the same amount of time, if not a little bit longer, than the Moreno deal. You'll see that rival fans will banter you on how long it's taken for Moreno to get done, and then you won't say nothing about Ugarte. You won't back your team and say anything about, well, we're not gonna just pay whatever, which we did lower the price. It's just y'all don't know how to read nowadays. Y'all don't know how to like actually look at articles versus just going on Twitter and getting Twitter brain, right? Both clubs are deciding we don't want to overpay for players no more, and so we're gonna negotiate until we get to a point where it's like, okay, I can accept the fee, I can accept this amount, I can accept what you're trying to give, but what we're not gonna do is overpay for a Mandem just because he did good 7 games at a tournament, right? We didn't want to do that. And Man United didn't want to do the same thing, and so it took so long for the deal to get done. And well done, you got your man for how much you are as able to accept from the other team. At the end of the day, both teams have agendas, both teams have goals when it comes to the transfer market. And if they're gonna sell their player and they're okay with selling their player, they have an idea of how much you want to sell it for. You have an idea of how much you want to sell it for. Let's see where we can pull and where we can tug. Like, all this, Arsenal take too long to get deals done, no. Like, the thing is, yeah, not every deal's going to be like the Neto deal. And the thing is with the Neto deal, they're probably working on that for time as well. It's just they weren't giving these agents the reports. It probably got the agents to sign the NDA, so you don't talk about it. But we like to forget there's such things as lawyers when it comes to these things. Like, I personally believe that at any transfer is like buying a house. When you're dealing with that much money, a lot of things have to be ticked and made sure they're good before it goes through. But that's just my little run. Man United, I feel like Man United are the only team that can say like they try to address everything. And the thing is that people are gonna say that, oh, the window's not that good, so blah 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 blah. But the reason their window's not that good, because they had to get rid of so much players, and then get rid of so much players, you can't just replace, like, you can't sell 10 players and bring in 10 players. That don't make no sense. Yeah, bro. Yo, Miguel, real talk, yeah, with the Wenger thing, yeah, I feel like the way things are going right now, I like it because it's the market's going down, you know? £1 extra sweet in the deal, yeah. The Suarez thing, yeah. Yeah, that Suarez thing was blessed. But, yeah, man, with Man United, yeah, I feel like you can't just sell 10 players and bring in 10 players. Football don't work like that. It's going to take them about 3 years, 4 years to get where they need to go. I think the best thing they could have done in the transfer market was to sack Ten Hag, but that's neither here or there. We'll see how he goes and progresses through things. Now, let me get to... Let me talk about Liverpool first. This is going to be short. Don't worry, lads. Don't worry. And lassies. This is going to be real short. Liverpool signed Chiesa for, I believe it was £10 million. If they had bought one more player, bought a DM, they would have an 8 out of 10 window because they don't need too much. Maybe they need a left back. Okay, whatever. They still have Robertson. Robertson is still decent. I just don't understand what's going on over there. Neither do I care enough. Yeah, Liverpool did. They got Chiesa, and Chiesa's injury prone. And with Chelsea fans laughing at the fact that they got Chiesa, I'm just like, bro, you guys signed Neto. And Chiesa, like in his pomp, is better than Neto. Chiesa was playing for Juventus. Neto was playing for Wolves. No, no, not even Wolves. Wolf. That's not even a team anymore. You can't put a Puro. There's no pack there. They don't roam. They don't do anything. They're just Wolf. Neto used to play for Wolf, and you're out here trying to laugh at them for signing someone that's injury prone when they already have. Yeah, man, the DM role is dying, man. It is dying. Yeah, like off the top of my head, every DM that I can name, like for example Onana, you in your head you're like, is he a DM? There's like a question mark on it. Like, is he a DM or is he a centre mid? Like Frankie De Jong, you're in your head like, he's a DM or is he a centre mid? Right? Even towards the end of his career, N'Golo Kante, people were saying that he's a box to box midfielder. So I don't know. DM role is kind of shaky right now. Same with attacking mid right now too. It is slowly dying out. But Ugarte, man, like that's a real one, real one. In fact, that's who Liverpool should have signed. They just need a dog. They just need a real dog in there, right? Someone that can press, win the ball back, get aggressive, be a little bit of a prick. You get me? But back onto Chiesa and Liverpool. I look, me personally, thank you Liverpool. Now the next thing y'all need to do is not sign your 4-star players back on new contracts. Then it's calm for Arsenal. It's calm for Arsenal. No, I don't know. The thing is with Cam, like, bro, we used to play football. Like, you know when you're young and you're like, yeah, I'm a winger. And then slowly you get moved to be a fullback like I did. So you're playing right wing, and you're like, yeah, I'm a right winger, you know, I cross the ball, blah, blah, blah. Then they move you to the left because they realize that, like, you know, your crossing isn't all that. Maybe he can just dribble and cut in, you know. And you're like, nah, that doesn't work. Let's move him to right back. Yeah, man. That's what's happening with cams nowadays. It's like, oh yeah, you're not a Kaká, you're not a Zidane, you're not Ronaldinho. You can't win in those little pockets. Let's put you on the wing, and then you play off of those pockets. Like, that's what's happening with cams nowadays. That's what happened to Ozil. And what they want is that they want their cams to do a little bit more defensive work, press. Either press or get involved in tackling nowadays. And if you can't do that, you're off to the wing. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. He's gonna. I feel like Ugarte, like, off the top of my head, Smith Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, maybe Raheem Sterling and Ugarte, they might be like the signings of the season off the top of my head. Like, that's what I'm thinking with those players. It is a massive upgrade to Scott McTominay, man. I agree with you. Off the top of my head, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. So to finish off Liverpool, I just think they didn't do enough. And they had, in my eyes, they had one area they really needed to address, and that's DM, and Ugarte was the perfect signing for that. Maybe they could have got a left center back for cover. Maybe they could have got a left back for cover. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna give my thoughts on Sterling in a bit. But Sterling could be has contention to be signing of the season. Unfortunately, he's not a full transfer as a loan. There's no obligation to buy, which really pisses me off. Actually pisses me off. You put like a 10 million obligation to buy. If he performs, then you got Sterling for 10 million. If Martinelli doesn't perform, you sell him, and then, like, I don't know what their plan is. I don't care. I care more about watching the football. But I don't know what Arsenal's plan is. But if Sterling does not perform, then you get rid of Martinelli, bring in Nico Williams, bring in Rafael Leao. Wait, how did you say? Is it Rafael Leao? Yeah, he's one of those Angolan descent Portuguese. But yeah, man, like, bring in like bring in a Leao, where those guys, if Martinelli doesn't decide to perform, and then you still have Sterling, Trossard, and someone else, and bring in a striker. I don't know what's going on with Arsenal. We do have 2 windows inside the season, so we'll see what happens with that. Let me get into my club. Let me get into my club. Leao. Bro, when I see you next, we'll have a discussion. I like pronouncing things properly. Yeah, I like pronouncing things properly. Li'a. Maybe I'll translate it and see what it pops up as. Yeah. So I'm gonna move on to Arsenal, and unfortunately, like obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so obviously my breakdown. Oh, thanks, bro. Obviously my breakdown for Arsenal is gonna be a little bit more in depth. Like obviously I'm not trying to be biased, but that's just how it's gonna be. Okay, so let's go in over here. So this is Raheem Sterling. The first thing I'm gonna do, okay? The first thing I'm gonna do. This is the first thing I'm gonna do. Okay? This is the first thing I'm going to do. Yeah, this is the first thing I'm gonna do. Okay? So look at this heat map and tell me who you think is a dual winger. What I mean by dual winger, maybe it's not the correct term, I don't care. Is a winger that can play both wings. Look at this heat map and tell me who's a dual winger. Unfortunately, Nelson does not play, which is another reason why Sterling is a good signing. Nelson doesn't play. Fabio Vieira doesn't play. Eddie Nketiah did not, like, if you look properly towards the end of this, that's why Kai Havertz played striker. When Eddie Nketiah got a run, we're like, nah, this is not working. Then we replaced him and we're like, this is working. Okay, Eddie, you're done. You're done. And I'm going to touch on one thing before I get into this Sterling thing. One thing I need to touch on. Yeah? One thing I need to touch on. Eddie Nketiah leaving my club. I love you, mate. You, Hayland, I love you. You came from the academy. You tried. But you leaving my club is all I wanted this transfer window. That is all I wanted this transfer window. Yeah. Sterling's decision making is not 100%, but it doesn't need to be 100%. Hello. Yo, you don't need to add anything. The fact you're here just makes me happy. But yeah, yeah, man. Selby vibes. I'm only gonna be on for a little bit here. I got some other things I need to do today. I actually got a massive headache too. But it is what it is. I'm gonna get my liquid IV and we press on, man. Life is only worth living when you actually live it. You feel me? But what I'm trying to say, yeah, is that, bro, all those guys that we got rid of off the bench, they didn't play. So if Raheem Sterling is taking their minutes, for example, when we need Saka to rest, we're 2-0 up, like we're going to be against Brighton, because we're going to beat Brighton 2-0. When we're 2-0 up, obviously Sterling's not going to be available. Bring in Sterling. Let Sterling finish off the game. And the thing is with Raheem Sterling, unlike Nelson, he's so direct and his movement off ball is so good that even if he doesn't have the ball, he's a threat. And what he would provide is that maybe his decision making isn't the best, but what he was really good at City was getting into positions where he can just tap the ball in. And because he's fast and he's quick and he's agile, he's got good balance, he can do that. So I personally think if Raheem Sterling gets us 12 GA over the course of the season, I think that's good enough. I think he will get more than 12 GA though. I actually think he's going to do really well. And I just want to remind people that this guy did get 8 goals last season. Reece Nelson got 0 goals. He made 31 appearances and he got 64 minutes per game, which means that utility, like the difference between us winning an FA Cup or the difference between us winning a League Cup, he could be that difference, right? He got 4 assists. So 8 goals, 4 assists versus 0 and 0. And my fan base want to cry. Yes, we did not progress. Yes, in this window, we had an objective. But do not forget where the team was last season. Don't forget that. What we have done is, although we have not raised our ceiling, we have raised our floor dramatically. And so when we're in those games versus teams like Villa and Fulham and West Ham, where we need something to come off the bench, Sterling is better than Reece Nelson. And look, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. And all of you fans that are annoyed at the window, be annoyed, be frustrated. Let them know you're frustrated. I'm frustrated. All I'm saying is that I just want football to be played. I want to watch the football. I want to get in. And for those that say that Raheem Sterling does not contribute defensively, and does not do his job defensively, doesn't help defensively, look at Reece Nelson's defending numbers, and they're both rubbish, right? They're both rubbish defensively, and I'm gonna show you why in a bit. How do I? I'm gonna change this from Reece Nelson to Bukayo. I'm gonna change this to Reece Nelson to Bukayo. Look at this. Look at this, man. 16 goals, 9 assists. Okay, and then when we see Saka is averaging close to 2 tackles a game, he's getting it stuck in, getting clearances, he's blocking shots, like he's winning aerial duels and whatnot. So when you look at this, and this is important here too, this is so important. Because Raheem Sterling, I remember City days we used to win bare penalties. Even when he was playing for Chelsea, he win them penalties as well. He's one of the reasons they got lots of penalties. So in my opinion, Raheem Sterling, great signing, man. Great signing. I think it's quality off the bench, right? That's what it is, man. It's just quality off the bench. And like I said before, it doesn't improve our ceiling. It just raises the floor. And I'm gonna touch on the Moreno thing. Apparently Moreno's injured. In training, first training session, first day on the job, he was a bit shy. He didn't know what to do. He slipped. Gabriel fell on him. Oh, that's not what happened, but like it's kind of what happened. And I'm thinking he's back October. That's what I'm thinking off the top of my head. We'll get the full reports later on, but like, problem is his shoulder. Hopefully it's not his collarbone, but it's his shoulder. And injuries around here, that it takes so long to recover from that. Obviously it's not his lower body, so it's like nothing to worry about his technique and balance and whatnot. But I'm thinking October, which sucks because we have an injury prone player like Party. But like, I'm just gonna do a slight breakdown of why I think Arsenal's windows are 5 out of 10 and why I personally don't care. The reason I think that our windows are 5 out of 10 is because there is one area that we need to buy a player in, and if we bought that player in, it automatically just shoots up. As long as they're as long as they're better than Kai Havertz, it just shoots up. We buy Ivan Toney, we buy Gyökeres, we buy Oshimen. We're looking at, in my opinion, an 8 out of 10, a 7 out of 10 window. And we've covered all of our areas. We got depth for Saka, Sterling. We got reliable and steady center mid, playing left center mid with Moreno, which obviously provides cover for Partey as well. So Rice can drop back and provide more cover for Partey in those areas. And then we've got a stable left back because Timber's just come back from ACL. I don't expect him to be just playing 90 minutes all the time because that could be a reoccurring injury. The problem is that, and the main problem we have with Arsenal is our midfield options are a little bit thin, especially Cam. But Ethan Nwaneri is gonna be our backup for Odegaard. Odegaard. And the thing is with that is he's your captain. I don't know why people don't like Odegaard's our captain. If we're not playing like FA Cup, League Cup, I'm expecting him to play every game. He can get subbed off, but that doesn't make sense. He's our captain. Yeah, we do need quality off the bench, especially for Champions League. And Sterling, like I said, Sterling would be really good for that. Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli really good for that. And this is why I'm annoyed it's not an option to buy, because I do believe Gabriel Martinelli, I don't think he's going to be it for us this season. And he could prove me wrong. I hope he proves me wrong. But yeah, so just to sum up the Arsenal thing, I just think personally that we didn't do enough. And what I mean by do enough is that we're just missing that one piece. But when you're 2 points away from winning a league title, there shouldn't be too much things you need to fix up. And I do believe that Raheem Sterling has that X factor. He can actually be the difference between us winning a game versus Fulham. some people may disagree. Some people may agree, but what we're gonna see is football being played. Only 2 games have been played. Our team is gone 2 for 2. Next tomorrow, hopefully 3 for 3. That's what matters. That is exactly what matters. But I understand the frustration. Now, I always go here to get shit done or to do like the fixtures, and so I'm just gonna go over the fixtures. For see, this is good reason I went over the fixtures. Okay, so for my preview, Arsenal versus Brighton, we handled them well. We handled them well when we played them last season. Well. And I'm not gonna be cocky. I think Brighton I forgot to figure out who their manager is. No disrespect here. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect you. But I think Brighton, yeah, they're well drilled, and I was messaging inside different Discord groups about Brighton, and I did do a tweet as well, and I was mistaken. I think it was their game plan to let Man United have the ball because they knew that Man United weren't gonna do anything or do much. They did get slightly lucky, but the game plan worked. They won the game. But I do think that because we are so much better off the ball and on the ball than United, I think this will be another 2-0. I don't think we'll concede versus them. I think it'll be another 2-0. If that boy Welbs comes on, we know he scores when he wants. So we don't know. Brentford, Southampton, Ramsdale. I don't think Ramsdale's probably not registered. I'm thinking a 2-1. Everton, Bournemouth. Everton might get slapped, bro. I don't have any faith in Everton whatsoever. Bournemouth, 2-0. Ipswich, Fulham, 3-1. This is gonna be a spanking. This is a spanking. Yeah, I'm gonna go wild with this one. Let's go 4-1. No, 4-1 with that one. Forest Wolves. No, sorry guys. Forest Wolf. Nottingham Forest versus Wolf. Nottingham Forest 2-1. West Ham versus City. I don't know, City have started really strong, but they did play, correct me if I'm wrong, they played West London Blue Cowboys first game. Everyone knows their defense is trash, and that's easy game. And West Ham are starting to click a little bit, but the problem with West Ham now is that they play football. That sounds weird, huh? That sounds weird. The problem isn't that they play football. The reason that's a problem, excuse me, is you can't play football to beat City. You need to just park the bus. Let's go with a 2-1. A 2-1 with this one. I hope not, but 2-1. And then Sunday, 2-2. Crystal Palace versus West London Blue Cowboys. Crystal Palace and West London Blue Cowboys, I'm going 2-2. Newcastle Spurs, I'm going 2-2 for this one as well. A little Desmond 2-2. Man United versus Liverpool, Old Trafford. Let's go, baby. Now, for me, this is the game of the week. Why'd I keep doing that? Yeah, this is the game of the week. Bring Jose back to the... Jose, I don't think Jose is going to last at Galatasaray. Real talk, I don't think he's going to last. This is the clash, man. If they had Ugarte, that would be so good. But like bare people like to call Gravenberch. This is the Liverpool's first test. They played two like bottom of the half tables. They did have a little bit more controlled game, which will hurt Man United a little bit. I think United get this one, I'm looking at a 3-2. Let's go 3-2 with this one. Let's go 3-2. Am I gonna stream tomorrow morning before the games? That's the real question. It's hard because I like to... Yeah, we'll do a little something before the game. Yeah, we'll do a little something before the game. I'll do my fantasy thing before the game. Yeah, we'll do that before the game. Um, this has been lovely. Yeah, 2-1 for United. It'll be a late winner. Bro, Bruno always shows up versus Liverpool, and he always does. It could be a 2-2, but I'm going for 3-2. Just because they fixed the roof at Old Trafford. It's no longer a water park, so maybe they get that done. But this is yeggooner. It's been a privilege to have all of you that come true. You get me. Much love. You feel me? This is road to 1K. If you are not subscribed and you're here right now, please just subscribe to the boy. It's vibes over here. You feel me? We like to have fun. We like to make a little bit of jokes, but I'm always gonna be objective when it comes to actual